And along those lines, temperatures are getting colder and space is limited at local homeless shelters, and now some have found themselves spending these chilly nights outside.
But a Housing First nonprofit, Catch, says they're seeing 250 cases of people or families living in their cars. Our Andrew Bartline spoke with a woman today who lived in her car for nearly a year. Good news is she's now housed through Catch.
So, Andrew, this is fairly common. How did this success story come together?
Well, Mark and Morgan, it started with a bad situation, and Catch says that isn't uncommon. Cassidy Landry says she moved to Boise. She got in a bad relationship and then lost her job. Within a month, she was kicked out of her rental and forced to live in her car. For 10 months, Cassidy Landry called a parking lot just off Franklin Road home. And the intersection's traffic brings back old memories.
Hearing these semis come, that's what would wake me up in the morning.
Cassidy says living out of her car was the most exhausting and stressful chapter of her life. And today, she still lives with small reminders from her past.
There's tape right here on my door, and it's all around. That's because when I would put blankets up in my window, the blankets would swoop down, and I didn't want anybody to be able to see.
A shower, food, or even a place to go to the bathroom. Cassidy had nothing guaranteed as her son moved back to Texas to live with family. Cassidy did what little she could to keep herself together.
I would just lock myself in a bathroom and I would do a bird bath. I became very familiar with dry shampoo, and there's also a building that I would go behind super late at night. I would sneak back there because they had a hose, and I would use that hose to wash my hair.
But through a Google search, she found Catch, a local nonprofit aiming to end homelessness in the Treasure Valley.
No one chooses to be homeless.
Jet Curtis is the homeless outreach team's director at Catch, and she says there are 250 cases of people living out of their cars in Ada County. 100 of them are families.
The common thread there is that they are in crisis and they need all the help they can get.
Cassidy was skeptical but made an appointment with Catch and stayed in touch with her case manager. In a few months, Catch found her housing. Cassidy has since had a daughter, and the whole family is back together.
The stresses of, how I'm going to get my basic needs met. Instead, I have the stress of, my little girl is getting into my makeup kind of stress, which is the normal type of stress that people should have, not, how am I going to eat today?
Cassidy's now a student at CWI pursuing a degree in social work, and she hopes to one day help others just like her find their footing and find a home beyond a noisy Boise intersection.
I don't know where I would be if they did not catch me, because there's no way I could have done it on my own.
Catch says it cost them $7,500 and 11 months to end homelessness for somebody like Cassidy. And this month, Catch is part of a statewide fundraiser called Avenues for Hope. We'll have a link over to Avenues for Hope on our website at ktvb.com.
So many heartbreaking stories. Luckily for her, for Cassidy, hers ended up coming out on the other side. We've heard so many stories that don't work out that well, so that's good. Catch. Thank you, Andrew. All right.